What is going on, everybody? In this video, I want to go through my top 25 college football rankings after week 1. And just so you guys know, I do my rankings differently from most people. I am simply ranking these teams based off who I think would win on a neutral site field if they played tomorrow. So I'm ranking the top 25 best teams right now, in my opinion, on the field. So let's waste no time. Let's get right into it. Number 25, I have Tennessee. I'm expecting Tennessee to struggle more on offense and be a lot better on defense, but they showed the opposite in week 1. I loved what I saw from Joey Aguilar at quarterback. It's going to get tougher when he has to play SEC defenses because he was very turnover prone at least last season, and Syracuse lost so much, so I'm still not super high on Tennessee. But week 1 was certainly a good win for them, and maybe they can be something. They know how to force turnovers. I just think they need to get better on defense, especially in the secondary, but I have them at number 25. Number 24, I have TCU. I'm not going to overreact to that blowout win. They probably looked like one of the most dominant teams in week 1, but I think it was just North Carolina being that bad. They looked like a 2-win team like Florida State last season. They looked horrible. The first drive looked good, but after that, they looked so unmotivated. It's like Bill Belichick had them run a marathon or two before the game started, or they just had no conditioning this offseason. They looked super unmotivated, unathletic, and so slow. I don't know what was going on with that North Carolina team, but TCU definitely made a fool out of them, and TCU looks like a pretty good team this season. Number 23, I have SMU. They lost a lot of depth on defense and some good talent on offense. I do think they did a decent job to reload in the portal, and they do have talent at wide receiver with Romello Brents Jordan Huston and moving RJ Maryland to receiver. They still have a very talented roster, and they should be pretty good this year. I just don't know if they'll be as good as they were last season. I have them at 23. At 22, I have Georgia Tech. This is a team that could compete with anybody with their style of play. They did not play a good game against Colorado. They had a couple of turnovers in the first 8 minutes of the game, but they still ended up winning, dominating the line of scrimmage. This is a very good team, and when you have Jamal Haynes at running back and Haynes King at quarterback and an elite offensive line, anything is possible. We'll see how the defense does, but I am very high on Georgia Tech and their style of play, and Brent Key is a pretty good head coach. Number 21, I have Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin just seems to keep this team consistent. They haven't taken that big leap to be elite in the SEC or like a top 3 team, but they have been good every year, and I think they got some really sneaky talent this season. Maybe they can do something. We'll see how they do this week against Kentucky. They got a good young quarterback in Austin Simmons and a lot of talent. Number 20, I have Texas A&M. I dropped Texas A&M a bit because I saw these same issues on the defense that I did last season with that secondary. I think the offense is going to be better and more explosive, but I just need to see more from that defense. They gave up a ton of yards to UTSA in week 1 and 24 points, and they didn't make any huge changes this offseason to improve the secondary. We'll see what they do, but right now I have them at 20. On number 19, I have Florida State. I don't think it is overreacting when saying this Florida State team looked like a top 20 football team. And who knows, maybe they'll be a top 15, top 10 team. I just can't rank them that high. They might be a little bit too one dimensional. And Alabama might have just beat themselves. Who knows? Because Alabama really beat themselves in multiple games last season. The coaching has just been poor, and that's why I'm not ranking them at all. I don't think they would beat these 25 teams if they played tomorrow. And Florida State is one of those 25 teams. I have them at 19. They dominated Alabama, really. Thomas Castellanos fits perfectly into that Gus Malzahn offensive system. The defense will be good again, and the offensive line looks improved. We'll see how they do with their receivers, but just alone with that Russian attack and the defense, I think they will be a good team and possibly compete in the ACC title picture. On number 18, I have Texas Tech. I think that revamped defensive line makes this team dangerous, and they have so much offensive talent returning. They had the number 1 transfer portal class in the Big 12, a top 2 class in America. I think Joey McGuire is an excellent head coach, and they could definitely win the Big 12. They just have to get by a tough schedule. But they had the number 1 offense in the Big 12 last season, and they should definitely be really good again this season. This may surprise some people, but I have Kansas at number 17. I think Kansas is going to take a big leap this season, and they have showed it so far. They dominated Fresno State, who went on to dominate Georgia Southern. Not only does Kansas look like they have great offensive talent from the portal and a top 10 quarterback in Jalen Daniels when healthy, but I think they have a very underrated line of scrimmage, and Lance Leipold keeps getting that defense to be better. And this could be their year to finally break through and win 10 plus games. They have not done that in a long time. Through the 2010s, they would win 1 or 2, possibly 3 games. but Lance Leipold has done a great job with this program, and people cannot forget how dangerous Lance Leipold and this team can be. I have USC at number 16. I think they're going to be a really good team this year. I love the offensive talent, and I think year two under the defensive coordinator Deonta Lynn is going to be great, just like year two under Blake Baker at LSU. A lot can change in 1 year of college football, and staffs make a difference, and I love that USC staff, and they have great talent. I can't rank them much lower. I have them at 16. Same could be said about number 15, Oklahoma. Just like USC, they are a winning program. They've had a couple of iffy seasons, but they are definitely making the right changes to get back to playing very good football. For USC, it was the defense. For Oklahoma, it's the offense. But they have a potential Heisman contender in John Mateer at quarterback who went off in week one. And they have a very good defense. I am ranking Oklahoma at number 15. I think they're going to be good this year. I have Arizona State at number 14. They may have lost Cam Scatterbo, but they have a lot of good pieces on defense back. And I think Sam Levitt to Jordan Tyson is going to be fun to watch all year, and it's going to be dangerous. They showed it in week one. They also got some decent backs who are talented. Kyson Brown did some good things in week one, and they also have Kanye Adu. They didn't play a perfect game in week one, but it was only an FCS team. I am still high on this Arizona State team, and they can compete for the playoffs again. I have South Carolina at number 13. You want to talk about a ceiling with that defense? This could be the number one defense in America. That defense looked ruthless in week one. That pass rush is very good again. But the offensive line and the receivers just don't look that great, and that might hold them back again. I need to see more from South Carolina. Can they be consistent all year? It's going to be tough. So I only have them at number 13. Right ahead of them at number 12, I have Illinois. Illinois beat them last season. I don't know if they'd beat them if they played, but I am going to give them the nod because I think they're a bit better on offense than South Carolina is. I think they have a better offensive line, and I think the defense is really good, and they have a good secondary. We'll see how they do against Duke, a pretty solid ACC team this season, or should I say this week. Darian Mensah is looking good, but I do have Illinois at number 12 for now. We'll see. On number 11, I have Utah. I am so high on this Utah team after watching them in week one. Maybe it's an overreaction, but I saw that old Utah team with Kyle Whittingham this week. It's like I totally forgot that Kyle Whittingham has had one losing season there. It was last season. They made big changes this offseason. They got Devin Depere at quarterback, and they got the offensive coordinator from New Mexico as well. They got good continuity back and a great offensive line. I expect big things from Utah, and right now they're my pick to win the Big 12. Number 10, I have the Florida Gators. I know they have a brutal schedule, but I think they have one of the best line of scrimmages in America and a good defense. I know they played an FCS team in week one, but they absolutely dominated them. Florida's defense actually looks dangerous. They have a lot of young talent coming up, and DJ Lagway is a super good quarterback. Can he stay healthy? We'll see. But they got the offensive line. Jaden Bogg is a great running back, and they got some guys at wide receiver. Watch out for Florida. Number 9, I have Clemson. I have questions with this team and that rushing attack. If they don't manage to get a run game going, they might struggle all year. But they also didn't hand the ball off a lot. Maybe they'll try to establish a run game and get it going. I do think they're going to get better as the season goes on, and I still think they are my favorite pick to win the ACC. I have Texas at number 8. Right now, I can just not trust them to beat the very good teams in the country. I think the offense has too many concerns with the revamped offensive line and a lack of playmakers at wide receiver, just like I was saying this offseason. Don't sell your Arch stock yet. He is going to bounce back, and I could see Texas getting better as the season goes on. I think they'll lose another game, but I do think they are one of the best teams in the country, and they have an elite defense. I have them at number 8. Same thing with Notre Dame at number 7. This is a team that could totally win out and have a big season. Do not sell your Notre Dame stock. CJ Carr looked very good, especially in the second half. I think if they played Miami again on a neutral site field, they might actually win. But they did just play, so I'm not ranking Notre Dame over Miami. I have Notre Dame at number 7. Right ahead of them, I have Miami at number 6. I loved what I saw, and right now I think they look like one of the top teams in the nation. But we have seen this before with Miami. They don't get better as the season goes on. In fact, they get worse. And it's not like that Miami secondary played an elite offense. Notre Dame is more of a running team. So I need to see more from Miami, but the line of scrimmage looked very good. They actually controlled the line of scrimmage in that game, and it surprised me, so I have them at 6. I have LSU at number 5. I still need to see more from that defense and head coach Brian Kelly. But man, they have the roster to actually win a national title if they can be consistent. I have them at 5. So number 4, I have the Oregon Ducks. I think this team's talent is being super slept on. They have a lot of young 5 stars coming up. Dan Lanning has recruited 5 stars for Oregon, something they have not done in a long time. And they got a lot of talent on that roster. This might be Oregon's most talented team ever. And I love that young talent. They are super fast. Reminds me of the early 2010s. We'll see how the defense does, but I am high on Dan Lanning. He continues to over-impress every year. I have Oregon at number 4. I have Ohio State at number 3. I have questions with that run game and offensive line. They lost 2 elite backs, generational backs, but I loved what I saw from the defense and Matt Patricia in week 1. I think they're going to be just fine on defense, and I'm sure the offense is going to be okay. They have the best receiver in America. I have them at number 3. I just need to see them get that run game going. At number 2, I have the Georgia Bulldogs. A lot of people might question me for ranking them ahead of Ohio State, but if they play tomorrow, I'm taking Georgia. I love the defense. And I think the SEC relies on if Georgia can have an offensive line and talent at wide receiver, and I think they got talent at wide receiver. Zach Branch is a lethal number 1 receiver. He's a former 5-star transfer from USC. Georgia will utilize him to his fullest ability. They have a lot of young talent. I think people have forgotten who Kirby Smart is, and they have not had that true number 1 receiver in a very long time. So watch out for Georgia this season. And at number 1, I have Penn State. I think it's simple. They're the most complete team in the country. I am not going to drop them until they prove me otherwise or until another team just looks very elite. But I love Penn State's veteran team, the coaching staff. Everything about them makes me think they are the number 1 team in America and that they're going to win the Natty this season. I think they are going to be the best team from the start to the end of the season. I am not selling my Penn State stock. But anyways, that is going to do it for my top 25 rankings after week 1. You guys let me know what you agree or disagree with down in the comments below. And let me remind you guys to like the video and also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you guys love college football, then you'll love this channel because we upload a ton of college football content and we basically cover everything on this channel. So definitely consider subscribing and also consider checking out my socials down in the description below. But that is going to do it, guys, and peace out.